Hello and welcome to At the Picnics number 12. I'm Paul Elvish. I'm with my co-host Danny Walker as always, and if anybody recognises this good-looking man, it is Razor Douglas, fantastic jockey who recently rode his 800th winner, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And of course, this show is brought to you by Picnic Bet. We love Picnic Bet. If you want to have a bet, download their app today. So quickly, Danny, we'll go through last week's meeting, which was up at Buchan for their Cup. Sean
Just
Cooper.
quickly, I'm impressed you remembered Picnic Bet so early in the show. That's very well done, Paul.
I've got it written down for once, mate. I'm organised. Sean Cooper ran another treble. Good on you, Sean, including the Cup on the horse Last Striker Out, which, of course, is trained by Nicole Dixon. Congratulations to them. And if we have a look at the premiership, Sean Cooper's zoomed away on 20 now. 20 wins. Lyndon McDonald's on 11. Tyson Barton and Jack Vergona on 8. Troy Kilgour had quite a few in it up at Buchan, but couldn't get a winner, so he stays on 8 wins with Don Dwyer with 8 with the trainers. So coming up this weekend, we've got a jam-packed weekend. We've got Woolamai on Saturday, and we've got Yea and the St Pat's Cup on Sunday.
Geez, you reeled that off real well. Anyway, I think you have got notes written down for a change.
Well, mate, I'll never get a media career, but I try. Now, I've got a question before we get to you, Ray. I've got a question from a listener, Dan, who listens in every week. Thank you, Dan. He wanted to know, Danny, what actually qualifies a horse for the picnic races?
There's not really any qualifications as such, except for not being as fast as the horses at the pros generally. What normally happens to get a picnic rating is they take their rating at the pros and they take about 15 points off it. It also depends on the prize money for whether you're eligible for a trophy 1, 2, 3 or an open race, and it's your individual prize money that you've earned at any wins that you've had at the professionals. So basically the guys that we're riding are either green and inexperienced horses that have come to get a bit of experience and a bit of confidence to then go back to the pros, or they're just a bit slower. A lot of the horses that we ride are, for example, Hawkstone, Howling Wolf was a prime example. He actually ran third at Moonee Valley one night. They're often those sorts of horses that are in the benchmark 58s and that sort of thing that need a lot of things to go their way for them to win, but they are competitive, but they're just not quite as quick as the rest of them. Your maiden races, they're all set weights and they're set on their age and their sex. So look, Razor would be able to probably give you a better guesstimate as to what their weights that they get than what I would, because he's been studying it a bit better than what I probably have for a bit longer. But
all right,
anyway.
My next question I'll ask
anyone's guess at time, isn't it? But yeah, throw a dartboard at the weights and see what we get at times. But yeah.
All right, I'll ask Razor the next question then. He also asked, What's a trophy 1, a trophy 2, a trophy 3, an open and a cup? What's the difference?
Trophy 1 is a horse that only won at picnic races, more or less. I think trophy 2 is they can win a maiden at the professionals and then win another one at the picnics.
Yeah, have not won more than 2 races on the flat, and further provided neither of these races is worth more than 15,000 to the winner. Yep. I've just cheated and looked it up because I've got a calendar sitting in front of me and I can remember it.
Great idea. Great idea.
And trophy 3. Yep.
For horses that have not won more than 3 races on the flat, and none of those wins could be compromised of their first win to any value or any other races tallying more than 5,000 to the winner. Your open races are open to everybody, and your cups, they tried to bring in a stipulation that you had to have had a couple of starts at the picnics, and we like to try and see that happen, but obviously when there's not enough acceptors that have had 2 starts minimum at the picnics, then all the other ring-ins get in like they did at Balnarring this year, and then we all go rah. But yeah, if we don't have enough acceptors to fill a full field of horses that have had 2 starts or more at the picnics, then obviously the outsiders get in. So
okay.
Not that any of us necessarily thinks it's fair, and I think sometimes they are a little bit lax in weight for what their form is. And I know I'm not the only one that thinks that. There's a lot of people that certainly agree on that, and we've seen it happen time and time again, especially with the Balnarring Cup. But hey, we're just the twits that ride them.
Yep.
And there isn't very much else that we can do about it. So that's the situation we're in.
Fair enough. And
a maiden race is obviously for a horse who's never won a race, full stop.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And I saw just very quickly, I saw a email floating around the other day about someone's concern about the Balnarring Cup and how that horse got a start, and very interesting response from somebody in it, Racing Victoria, and I think the rules are going to change very quickly. So I'll speak to you about that offline, Danny.
Because we've been thinking about that for a long time, but it'd be interesting to see if anything comes of it.
We don't like to be controversial on this show, so we'll let that one go, and I'll chat to you offline. Razor, thank you so much for joining us, mate. Absolute honour and a pleasure to have you, mate. Now, recently you rode your 800th winner. And when you crossed the line, not many people knew that. Obviously, you knew yourself. How did you feel when you crossed the line? Did you feel like screaming to the world, oh, I've just got my 800th winner?
Not quite, no. I'm a pretty, relaxed sort of bloke most of the time. And it was just, I suppose it's a milestone that I thought I'd get to the end of the last season, but things just didn't go right, and went a couple of seconds and just couldn't crack it. And then started off this season, and I think it was 4 photo finishes, and I lost all of them. So I was beginning to think I was never going to make it. And anyway, thank goodness. The first one at Troy's just got beat a lip and got a head in front, 20 yards out. And it's just one of Muzzie's kicked back and beat it. And then, thank goodness Copthorne gave me no risk, and he walked in. So it won't be 2.5 or 3 lengths. So, I was really happy, really right. But, the show goes on, so 800's 800, but anyway, we'll just see if we can keep going along a bit further and see how we go.
Congratulations, Razor. It was a bloody ripping achievement. You did an extremely good job of keeping that one under wraps. None of us had any idea what was going on except for about half a dozen people. Dare I be cheeky enough and ask you how long you've been riding and how many rides you've had?
About 3,000 odd rides.
Yep.
And been riding 42 years, I think it's been. So, had a 5-year break, so it was about 42 years, yeah.
Yep. So when you say you've been riding since I was in
76. Yeah, 76. So if you were born then, congratulations. If you weren't, then
no, I was 78. So
thought in someone's mind. That was it. Yeah. Anyway, that's what happens.
So you also, sorry, something's just gone Burko outside. You also work full-time job, and your partner Christine trains. So
yes.
How does your schedule normally work out during the week apart from hectic?
If I start at 6 o'clock at the wharf, then I'll wait till I get home at probably around 4 o'clock, 4:30, and work the horses then. And then failing that, I'll normally start at 10 o'clock, either 6 or 10. And 10 o'clock, I get up and work before we go. So, so that's a gallop week if we can. And but we normally work them at home. We don't sort of do much galloping in between. Once they start racing, they're pretty tuned up and pretty right.
Yep.
What area do you live in, Ray?
I live at Summers, so only just Summers.
Yeah, not far from Balnarring. Yep.
Nah, so only at 4 k's the crow flies from Balnarring. I could probably sneak up there and cut the fence and get into the gallop if I wanted to. But
beautiful area there.
It is. Yeah, we're very lucky. We're very lucky with Annie. So
you're also good mates with Gerald Egan, and you guys have had a pretty lethal partnership up around Mansfield over the last however long that you have been partnering up. Do you guys take your horses up there and that a bit for a holiday when you go up during picnic season?
We've got a property up at Mansfield, which Gerald's number's on the front gate. I don't know whether he likes it too much, but anything goes wrong, they ring Gerald. So we're pretty close. And we normally take up, the kids go up a fair bit and take the ponies up. And we've got a couple of yards here and a bit of a house, as they call it, a shed house. And we camp up there. And it's good fun. So we always try to get up to Mansfield, and went the night before last meeting, stayed the night after, and spent a few days there when we can. So not easy to do when you're working, but we sort of work our way around it.
Yeah, fair call. So what else have you seen? There would have been a few good picnic tracks that have closed over the years that you've seen gone by. What other tracks have you not made it to yet?
I was sort of lucky enough. I came in on the fringe of probably all the better tracks. and we probably lost to Chura and Seymour now, but they used to both race, and Yarra Glen also raced. So yeah, they were better tracks we used to ride on. But I missed the Bacchus Marsh ones and all those Birregurra. I used to go to Colac, but yeah, never rode a Birregurra. But I
Where's
rode some rough
Birregurra?
places. It's down near Colac somewhere. That's all I know. So down there somewhere. But no, I never rode there. But I've rode went as far as Cooktown and Mount Garnet and Cairns naturally and Townsville. So yeah, pretty big meetings up to up North
Up
Queensland.
north, yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, fantastic meetings. They were, really, I was the first one to go, and I was very fortunate enough to go with big punting mob and a heap of good horses, and yeah, made an impact. And that's when they started to get the New South Wales blokes and the Victorian blokes. We started all tracking up there and yeah, trying to bit of the Queensland coin.
So, are there any punting tales that you can get away with telling us on here?
Oh well, back when I used to punt, not allowed to punt
Well, that's
anymore
right.
if I'm
You're not
riding.
allowed to now. So
No,
us
no,
putting
not allowed to.
locks on the jockey's room door so she can't see the punting ring anymore is not a bad thing for you guys now.
Yeah, no, we used to always have a runner that was at the window, so used to send him out with their money. So unfortunately, that doesn't happen. Woolloomoy used to be great. There was a little low window. I used to sit in that back corner, and there they'd go and put our money on, and yeah, no, it was sensational. So, but that was the old days, and things were different. There was a lot of things going on then. But we sort of stopped when Brett Mallion and Mick Kent and I sort of come on the scene. There was a lot of the old blokes, and they were running riot there. And they probably won't mind me telling that, but with plenty of one goers, and there was plenty. Yeah, there might be six not going and one going, and yeah, it happened to me one day. I was not the goer, and I copped an awful flogging at Alexander one day and got beat a neck. And yeah, when I was about 15 or 16, and I swore I'd get them all back, and even up to school, which I eventually got most of them. Yeah, straighten them up.
So this is
But I
what
remember
happened
one.
before we got paid.
Yes, before we got paid, there was a good earn there. It was a Drill and Cup, and I remember the rider that organised most of it, and he was waiting for a run on the inside, and of course it was ready to open up, and I just put my left elbow straight in behind his right knee, and he couldn't go anywhere. He was just getting pulled off the back of the horse, and so yeah, that one got beat. So they got a bit of a square up that day. So yeah. But there was no videos back in the old days either. There was only race call.
No, that's right.
Ray, listening to that story, mate.
Seriously,
You going to be allowed to ride this weekend?
There's no proof. There was no videos. Nothing happened.
Yeah, statute of limitations is over.
Yeah,
The statute
absolutely.
of limitations is probably all over now. So yeah, but yeah, plenty of other stories. But yeah, can't really tell them all. I'm still going. So.
No, fair enough. So what gives you a better thrill, kicking up a milestone like that or riding one of your own?
Oh, it's a strange thing. I get a thrill out of most winners. So I got a thrill for that. Yeah, that 800 was good. And Kelly, she's been a good supporter over the years and don't have many runs, but yeah, I've done a bit of riding for her, rode a few winners for her. So that was good. Always enjoy riding my own. The work we put into it here, and Christine's up in the morning before I am. So, she puts a lot of hard work into it. And I get the easy job, just walk out, jump on them, spend 15 or 20 minutes on them, and then head off to work. So, and she's had.
And probably put on the tongue tie in the mounting yard just before you get on it.
And the tongue tie, yeah, it's a bit more go. Yeah, it's a bit all I'm good for.
Razor, what's your most memorable win?
Geez, it was I probably won a Townsville Cup for Roy Chalemi and Tom Headley, I think, and yeah, it was a pretty good result. And earlier in the day, we pulled off a plunge at Maiden there, and it was probably the best back runner they'd ever seen in North Queensland, and it fell in. So yeah, very lucky to get the coin, but it was about 7s into 5 to 4, and there was about 70 bookies there, so you can imagine it was a rather large result. Yes, that was a massive.
I'll say it's probably not the biggest plunge. I'd say Fine Cotton was probably the biggest plunge, mate. So we'll say that's the second biggest.
Yeah, but Fine Cotton, they got busted.
But they missed.
Yeah,
they missed. Yeah. We were fair and we're the right also.
Yep.
So that was good.
Makes a hell of a difference that when you when
Very
you've got the
lucky.
right result with the right horse. So have you been over South
Yeah,
Australia
well,
and those
it's,
sorts of places?
No, I haven't been over there. So I've been in just Victoria and New South Wales, a few meetings up there. So I've done the whole brook, Wagga Wagga, and a few of the other ones. Whole brook, Wagga Wagga, yeah, there's been a few up there. So Corowa. They were always two-day meetings, so they were always good fun. So,
Yep.
Yeah. And we did get a result. One of Harry Bacon's up there one year, and very memorable. Harry come down and picked me up from Seymour races, and we went to Corowa. I stayed up at Harry's Mansfield that night, and we went through the form and done all the videos. And I said, "Yep, got it, H. We're all sweet, mate." And it drew the outside, and I remember when I went out riding like John Wayne to try to fool them, so they didn't realise who I was. And Harry was out in the betting ring and throwing my money, his money, and his cousin Ronnie's on. And anyway, he was still up on the board as jockey. So they were asking Harry, when's he going to get ready? And he said, "Oh, I just want to put this money on." So he's just putting it all on. And drew the outside. And I said, all the inside, I think about 9 inside. And I said, "I've got to be on the fence in 50 metres." And they just all looked at me. I said, "So just be very careful because that's where I'm going." And, anyway, of course, I jumped about 3/4 length in front and beeline straight for the fence, and it was carnage there. But of course, no videos, and we got to the front, hit, and got to sit, and the horse won, and we got another good result that day. So yeah, it was pretty exciting for Harry and me. So he's been a good mate for 40 years. So yeah,
He's a
great to get
good
a
bloke,
result there.
Harry. He's won a few Mansfield, Alexandra, Merton Cups up that way too.
Well, he won a heap of that. And any time I went to somewhere strange, I went to Merton, I'd ring Harry, how do you ride this track? And Deaderang, I remember getting to the 600 dinner and look around and go, what is this little circuit here? And I got straight on the phone to Harry, and he said, "Where are you?" And I said, "I'm at the 600, I think." And I said, "Talk me through, where do we have to be?" So he told me exactly where we had to go, and won the cup up there that year, and only through Harry's knowledge of the track. So he's done a great job, actually.
Absolute ripper for it, H. He was a lot of fun to ride with.
Yeah,
couldn't pull one over H. I
yeah,
tell
knew
you.
all the tricks.
Yeah,
No,
absolutely.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I'm going to hit one up for you for Paul. So who's your footy team?
I'm a Richmond supporter.
Oh, you're flying well.
I knew I loved you, Razor.
Yeah, that's why, mate. Yeah, Tiger Man, through and through.
Good man.
So one of your horses that we all know for running seconds is good old Derek. Where's Derek these days?
Derek's just had a hard feed. Kristen just came hard feed now, so he's down the back on the back 5 acres with another old racehorse and a couple of daughter's ponies. So yeah, so he'll probably stay here. I don't know whether we love him too much to let him go anywhere. So
I was going to
he's
say
not a
you like
waste,
him
but yeah.
You like him too much for him to go anywhere. Derek's entertained you for a couple of seasons very, very well.
Well, and a great old diamond for him. He's every time I put a hard earned on him, he's normally got the money. So all those cup races he won, and even Tiger, when I get into Tiger, and he won the Drone Cup and another race at Wollongong, I think. So yeah, Tiger's got a soft spot for him too. So we all love Derek, but it was funny. He said, "When will I know what he's had enough?" I said, "He'll tell you, mate." And anyway, headbutted Max at Pakenham races one night, split his head open. And he rang up and he said, "I think he's had enough." I said, "Yes, mate." That's how he tells you. He lets you know. So yeah, that's an old Derek.
Now,
He's an old master.
Now, Danny and Ray, we're going to do something unprecedented on this show because and we'll blame Ray jumping on late. We're going to run out of time, but I'm going to send you both a link, and we're going to continue this chat in a couple of minutes. So for people that are watching this on YouTube, there's a second bit. All right. So we're not saying goodbye now. All right. So
see you in a minute.
Yeah. I'll send you an email of the new link, Razor, because there's plenty more we want to hear from you, mate.
No worries.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
See
Paul.
you.